Hey y'all, back again with another record haul. This one I picked up at a local antique store very nearby my house. This place is trying to bill itself as an oddities store, just like that TV show. They carry a variety of things like skeletons and stuff, but they also have some records, and from time to time I found some honestly amazing deals there. This time wasn't really one of those, but I did get some good stuff. I spent 10 bucks, and this is what I picked up. So they had a stack of 7-inches there, and that used to be what I'd buy there, is punk 7-inches all day long, but they're all out of those, I guess. But I did find this. The band is called Tungt Svenskt. Obviously that's not the correct way to pronounce it. And they tell you on the cover that it's Swedish rock and roll, damn it. And of course the cover is a Swedish flag, if you see that here, with the yellow cross and the blue on the blue field. I love Swedish rock bands, so I didn't hesitate to pick this up. And I also am a fan of the double 7-inch format, which this just so happens to be. And it's even on clear blue vinyl, which is cute. So we've got Space Probe Taurus, Buzz Amp, Generous Maria, Devil's Brood. The thing is, I think this might be a compilation. I don't know, it's got really weird... I haven't looked at it very closely. Whatever it is, it sounds freaking cool. And Rise and Shine, Man's Best Friend. I think it's a compilation. Anyways, it looks cool. I'm definitely going to check it out. I haven't listened to it yet, but maybe somebody knows something about this one. I don't know anything about it just yet, but I'll find out stuff about it, and I'll let you know if it's any good. Okay, then, I'm sure a lot of people have seen this record before. Not a huge Yes fan. I actually like Rick Wakeman's sort of solo albums, actually, is what I've listened to more often than the full band Yes. At least his 70s, like symphonic rock, War of the Worlds and stuff. Oh, look at that. Didn't even notice that was in there. That's pretty cool. It's like a photograph. Maybe it's cut from the cover, or I don't know what this is from. Huh. But apparently that's Mr. Bass himself, Chris Squire. I didn't even know that was in there. I haven't even opened this thing up yet, honestly. So anyways, like I was saying, this is an early Yes album. And if it's gonna rock, I guess if you're gonna get a rockin' Yes album, I'm assuming you'd want to get the earliest ones before they get too far out, but I honestly have no clue. I have listened to a couple of their records, and definitely enjoyed them to a certain extent anyways. So I don't know if that's the original sleeve, but it's in good condition, whatever it is. Here's the disc. Let me see here. It's in good shape. It's in very good shape. A couple of very light surface scratches that won't affect play for the most part. And some mold on it. Pretty standard. So anyways, I picked this one up because of how cheap it was and the fact that it's in really good condition. That was my primary considerations on this. And there was a couple of them there, and I decided to only get one Yes album. And I picked this one because this is the oldest one there. I don't know if older Yes is better Yes, but I've noticed that with 70s hard rock and prog bands, usually the older, the better. Once again, here's another one, Genesis, Trespass. Now, if I could see myself now, or then, I never would have thought I would buy a Genesis album. But people have told me, oh, Genesis is so good, you just gotta listen to their old stuff. They used to be a rock band. You know, obviously, as anyone who loves Good music. I can't stand that guy. I can't think of his name right now, but that guy that's like famous with that really awful 80s music. And I don't mean Peter Gabriel, I mean the other guy. But I don't think he's even on this record. He's not. What the heck's that guy's name? You guys know who I'm talking about. But, so I thought I'd check this out. I actually listened to the A-side already. I was planning to listen to the whole thing, but honestly, and there was definitely some cool stuff on the A-side, some hard rockin' stuff, but the last song really sort of turned me off. It just was super long and drawn out, and the vocals, Peter Gabriel, were really bugging me, so I didn't feel like listening to the rest of it. Nice sleeve. I've never actually seen an ABC sleeve like that. I'm assuming, is this on ABC? Yeah, this is on ABC, so I'm assuming that's original. 1970. So yeah, I'll listen to the B-side at some point, and maybe I'll like it. And with this record, I'm sure I'm going to sell it at some point. Try to get a couple bucks for it. More than what I paid. You know, sell it at a garage sale or something. Speaking of Peter Gabriel, I saw this and I was like, dang, that is a cool album cover. I don't know anything about the music on it, but that is a really cool album cover. And I thought I'd check it out. When I was a kid, I loved Peter Gabriel for his videos that were on MTV in the 80s. I just loved those songs when I was a kid, especially Big Time. Just loved that video. Watched it. I could watch it a million times. I loved it so much. Never really listened to him other than that, though. Those songs are not on here. This album's from '78. I'm assuming it's from the same collection. Dusty, some surface wear, but for the most part, it's in good shape. On Atlantic. It looks like there's a sleeve in here. Oh yeah, lyric sleeve. I think this is this. For some reason, this doesn't look like it matches. DIY, DIY, do it yourself. Oh, that's cool. Is that this record? It is this record. Well, that's cool. He's got a song called DIY. That's pretty punk. This came out in '78. I don't know, maybe this is good. I'm going to listen to it. I do have his other record where it looks like his face is melting, and I think it's pretty decent. You know, not totally my style, but there's definitely some good stuff on there. Okay. So that's all of our '70s prog rock. Now, what do we have here? Identified, the Nashville String Band. I'd never heard of these guys, but as soon as I saw this, I was like, yep, I'll put that in my pile. I see this cover. These guys look awesome. I'm seriously like, oh, this must be some bluegrass. It's the string band. Looked at the Colonel Bogey March, Red Wing, Rocky Top. Totally bluegrass. So I was like, you know, that's easy. You know, I don't find a lot of bluegrass records here in Wisconsin. Whenever I do, I buy them. I love bluegrass. So I picked this one up. And then I brought it home, and I was looking at it, and I was like, man, these guys do not look as cool with their masks off, first of all. Then I was like, oh yeah, there's fake signatures on it. And I was like, hold on a second. Does that say Chet Atkins? No way, that is Chet Atkins. I was like, who are these two schmoes? And I was like, Jethro Burns, Homer Haynes. Hold on a second. Jethro, Homer. It's Homer and Jethro. Homer and Jethro are like these like super famous like hillbilly sort of novelty dudes. Sort of before even, you know, back in the maybe as early as the 30s, but definitely the 40s and into the early 50s. I do have one other LP by them. This one came out here, it says, in '71. So I was like, actually, honestly, that was like that really blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, this record is probably fantastic. We've got Jethro on the mandolin and Chet and Homer on the guitars. I was like, man, this has got to be a great record. Well, I put it on, and unfortunately, I was pretty disappointed. There's some decent stuff on there, but honestly, there's a lot of the stuff that I have to blame Mr. Atkins for overproduced, maybe you might call it radio friendly, you know, like orchestrated, sort of schmaltzy, maybe you could call it. Stuff that I can't say that I particularly am a fan of. However, it was not a waste. It was not a wasted purchase. There's without a doubt some good music on here. It was just not the rip-roaring bluegrass album I was expecting, I should say. But hey, you win some, you lose some, right? So, anyways, let's check out the record's in good shape. Scuffed up. It's actually so far the worst out of the bunch on RCA. Whoa. So anyway, let's move on along. Who do we have here? This record is one I've been wanting to get my hands on. I'm sure it's a relatively common record, so it wasn't too surprising to find it. That's my son if you hear somebody screaming right now. But I am stoked to have this one in my collection. This is Louie and the Dukes of Dixieland. Of course, this is a Dixieland jazz record. Here's Frank SANTO and one of the other dudes from the Dukes of Dixieland. Dukes of Dixieland, if you've never heard of them, are one of the best Dixieland jazz bands from the 50s and 60s. They're just, you know, cream of the crop. So far as, you know, of the many hundreds of excellent Dixieland jazz bands, these guys are from Louisiana, from New Orleans, and obviously they're good if the king of Dixieland jazz himself would join them and record this album. I just have to say I love this cover. It's just so lively, and just the look on his face of pure enjoyment, and his face as well. I mean, that really speaks to the music, I think, more than anything else. It's just awesome, entertaining, excellent music. I have listened to this one. I listened to it right away. Got some great hits on here. Bourbon Street Parade, Washington and Lee's Swing, Closer Walk with Thee, of course, steals the album, as it almost always does. This version, thanks to this guy right here, is just incredible. Wolverine Blues, South, Sweet Georgia Brown. You can't go wrong with this record. I highly recommend, if you ever see this, even if you already have 5 copies, pick it up and give it to a friend. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's good. And my copy is in good condition, except it has this bad scratch right here, which skipped. I could not play that track, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Wolverine Blues, of course. Wolverine Blues, of course, being made famous by... now, you know, I'm not going to say because I might get it wrong, so never mind about that. But, ooh, look, we've even got a rainbow. We have a rainbow. It's sort of a purpley rainbow. You know it's a good record when it does that. Not necessarily, but it looks cool. And this side is in very good condition, so I'm happy for that. The scratch is unfortunate, but hey, you know what? It was $1. Oh, and by the way, like I said, it's really good. It's not the greatest thing I've ever heard, I mean, but it's quite fantastic. And Closer Walk with Thee, really, they really nail it. Look who we have here. Who's that guy? Louie Armstrong. Louis Armstrong, even. MAME. This seems to be one of the more common Louis Armstrong albums, at least that I've seen, though I don't have a copy until now. It's got some water damage, but, you know, incidental. It's not too bad. It's on Pickwick. Part of the reason probably why it's so ubiquitous. They seem to be one of those labels that really cranked out huge amounts. It's got Saints, Go Marching In, Tin Roof Blues, and honestly, I'm not super familiar with these other ones. MAME was one of his famous songs that he played. Excited to hear this one. It's in good condition. It's It's on heavy vinyl. Oh, the back sticker is peeling off or something. I don't know. Can you see that? Oh yeah, you can see that. Oh no, it sounds like the baby fell down. He'll be okay, don't worry. So yeah, here, this is again. Whoever owned this before had cats and got cat hair all over their records. I hate that. Keep your cats off your records. Okay. SANTO and his New Orleans Rhythm Kings. There's Mr. SANTO playing his trombone. And this is a cool one. It's on Southland Records. They're an authentic sort of New Orleans-based independent record label. Put out, you know, pretty much just authentic New Orleans jazz. Can't really go wrong with them at all, at least in my experience. Not that I have very many albums on this label, but the ones that I've had have been just straight up New Orleans jazz. Here's Muhlenberg, made famous by the song Muhlenberg Joys, and Basin Street, of course, Basin Street Blues. Neither of which song is on this record. We do have Saints, Fidgety Feet, Bucket Has a Hole, Bourbon Street Parade, Bill Bailey. Don't really know the other songs. Those are all good ones for sure. And the best part about this back cover, and we've got pictures of the players, which is awesome. You don't normally get to see the people that are making the music, so that's always nice to see. You can tell, you know, this is a label that's trying to respect the musicians, respect the artists, which is really cool. Obviously, most of the major labels weren't like that, except for the headliners. The funniest thing about this is that the liner notes are a complete rant against modern jazz music. You can see the all caps down here, and just, I will put another video out where I read it. It is like a troll post talking smack about the excuse for jazz that was being played in the big city clubs at the time, and how this is real jazz. And hey, I would have to agree. So this is dirty, scuffed, but in otherwise good condition. Definitely been pulled out of the sleeve a bunch of times, so it's a little scuffed. But hey, it's got rainbows, so that's pretty nice. SANTO and his New Orleans Rhythm Kings. Okay. Stereo Spectrum on Design Records. Spectra Sonic Sound. The golden era of Dixieland jazz. 1887 to 1937. 1887 is stretching pretty far back for jazz, I would say. But we've got Pee Wee Erwin on the trumpet, who's really the only guy on here that I know. Buster Bailey is a pretty sweet jazz name, though. Just one of those, you know, one of the thousands of generic Dixieland records, which I love so much, I collect. They've got Saints, Basin Street Blues, Strutting with Some Barbecue, Royal Garden Blues, Muskrat Ramble, Tin Roof Blues, and Birth of the Blues. I mean, pretty much all, you know, can't go wrong with those hits right there. I mean, unless you really screw them up. Here's some Spectra Sonic Sound info right there. So I'm sure that this record is interesting, and I'm sure it's a solid record. I definitely have some Pee Wee Erwin. Not to be confused with Pee Wee Hunt, or Pee Wee Herman, or Woody Herman. Here's another one. This is like the classic sort of generic Dixieland. Drumsticks, Trumpets, and Dixieland. On the International Award Series. Oh, what label is this? What label? It doesn't even say. Wow. I'm sure it says on the record label. I love this design. Very simple, really cool. I love the little splash of color. Otherwise, it's black. It actually says here that it's designed by Leonard Puro. Hey, look, it's Buster Bailey again. Hold on a second. Whoa, hold on. This is like the same band. I didn't even realize that. Look at that. Pee Wee Erwin, Buster Bailey. So yeah, the battery just died on my camera, but I've got a new one here, and so look, this is the same band basically. Buster Bailey, Vic Dickinson, Claude Hopkins, Milt Hinton, Claude Hopkins. Except on this one with the trumpet and the drumsticks, we have a few extra personnel, but that's not all. Look at this now. You'll see if you look down at the bottom here. The bottom of this one and the back of that one. It's not just the same people, it's the same songs too. Saints, Basin Street, Struttin', Royal, Muskrat, Tin Roof. The only difference is these last two songs here. I Would Do Anything For You, Birth of the Blues, and this album it's Late Date and the High Society Rag. Which is actually a good one. I think that might be a Scott Joplin rag, actually. Not 100% sure. Maybe it's James Scott. I'm not sure. Anyways, so I haven't listened to it yet, but this very well could be. It's the same band, mostly the same songs. It could be the same recording, just put out on a different label. This is definitely one of those sort of bulk, generic labels. But it has true monophonic high fidelity sound. I hate you know, what is it called? Oh, never mind. Lost my mojo there. Anyways, and I was looking at this here, so I do have other songs on this label, International Award Series. I guess that's the name of the label. We can see here they're out of New Jersey, and it always seems to be that these reissue labels that put out these generic sort of records without any attributions, they always seem to be from New Jersey, whereas the major labels are in New York. I almost feel like there's like there must have been some sort of resale industry where they would buy the old masters or even the old stampers and redo them as different albums. So anyways, I'll review those side by side whenever I get to it. Okay, last but not least, Kielbasa, Kapusta, and Dixie, Don Nedobeck's North Water Street Tavern Band. I have a couple other albums by the same group. They're from the 80s, early 80s. They're a local Milwaukee band. You know, what can you say? They're a really good band. This record has an interesting sort of twist that they're going for like maybe a Polish or polka theme. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm hoping that there's some polka / Dixieland mashups going on here. I'm hoping against hope. And so we've got, what do we have here? In Heaven There Is No Beer, Polish Dixieland. That's what I'm looking for. Most everything else, though, looks pretty straightforward. Annie Skinner's Chicken Dinners. That sounds fun. What we've got? Recorded in New Berlin. Here's the guys in the band. Don Nedobeck. Jack Consour, Bruce Yeo, Jim Christensen, Al Avini, Jim Brewski, and John Knurr. Kielbasa, Polish sausage, and kapusta, sauerkraut, are traditional Polish dishes, served at Dick Dolman's Polish Villa. Anyways, I'm sure this is a good record. It's a good band. So I'm definitely happy to add this to my collection. Sort of meets the crossroads of some of my favorite genres to collect. Polka, Dixieland, and Wisconsin all together on one record. Nice looking custom label there. That's pretty sweet. And the album's in good condition too. So anyways, That's this record haul. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it or found it interesting, or at least didn't fall asleep. So yeah, stay tuned for more, because I have too many records and I enjoy doing this, so I'm going to keep on doing it whether you like it or not. Thanks, bye.